Pulling for Alycat, universally loved by everyone in the locker room or anyone who works with her.
What's the latest update? I've worked all morning and calls all afternoon.
Really, really, really bad break. Looks like 3 breaks, 2 of them nasty looking. Going to be out for quite a while. There's a GoFundMe that we will make sure that we retweet from our account. It's all over my account. But they had an original goal, I think, of 10 grand, and they very quickly surpassed that. Good. And then they moved it to 25, I think, and they very quickly surpassed that. So she's going to be out for quite a while. This is going to be a long recovery, but you know, she was making some strides in GCW. It felt like she'd become one of their major players. So her being on the show sucks.
Yeah, the chemistry between those two, it worked. It clicked. Again, I'm going to go back to Effie. He's a really good talent.
She got a guitar necklace too, didn't she?
She sure did. Man, wore it like a champ.
Everybody gets one. I don't know if you saw, but PCO was there on the pre-show, and they gave him the live mic, and he had a chair brought into the ring and a sledgehammer, and then the TNA digital title. And they talked about how he'd worked there for 3 years, and now he's smashing the belt with the sledgehammer. Very quickly, they cut his microphone, went to commercial. I thought this was interesting, to say the least, because that's what everybody likes about wrestling, right? We want to know, hey, was this part of the show or was that real? And just the idea that there's even a little bit of buzz about that makes me happy.
That's wrestling. So where is it going? Regardless, we'll keep it up in the air. What's the fallout as of the end of the show? Any social comments? Again, Conrad, I went to bed and woke up, and I was in 5th gear by 5:30.
Well, let me see if you saw this. Triple H, in advance of TNA's pay-per-view, tweeted out promoting the TNA pay-per-view. Huge night ahead for our friends at This Is TNA. Excited to watch hashtag TNA Genesis tonight live on pay-per-view. He quote tweeted an official TNA account tweet. And I'm wondering, did you ever, in all your years, back when you created this shooting match in 2002, imagine you would see that?
I can't. Nobody would probably put that on the bingo card. You know, the first thing that came to my mind, and I knew about it last night, was, well, I guess the name TNA isn't completely, that so many people just tried to rag and bag on it, and I get the, I'll call it constructive criticism. I really do. But man, it kind of seems like, and it's not the only reason by any stretch, and I'm not saying that, but when they went back to the name and they've just started drawing better, kind of an influx with some different talent, among other things, seems like they got a little momentum. So of course, Conrad, when you literally put not just on money, but I was a 34, 35-year-old man, and I put everything I had, including money, just not just memories. I really put everything into that brand, and to see what it did from 2002 to 2010, and then to see, the TNA LOL years. And then now here we are in 2025, and the WWE is quote tweeting it. That's a pretty cool story, to say the least. So congrats, seriously, to everyone involved. It couldn't be obviously better for TNA, but it's fantastic for the wrestling business across the board.
I wanted to ask you about the big news. Joe Hendry has won the TNA title. He is the new TNA World Champion. This has been one of the best builds in a long time in TNA, if you ask me. I mean, the guy blew up in 2024, and now here we are in 2025, January, and he's got gold around his waist. A lot of people feel like he is a can't-miss prospect to be a major star in pro wrestling, and now he's TNA World Champion. And by the way, somehow, some way, John Layfield got involved. He came in through the crowd and started throwing haymakers, and down went Mr. Nemeth, and down went Frankie Kazarian. What'd you make of Joe Hendry becoming the new TNA World Champion?
Well, I'll jump on JBL first. What the hell's he doing everywhere? It's like, I like that playbook. I'll just say that. What a good, not a hit the buzz. Like, what is going on? And it's very cool to see John. You know, he was with WWE for so many years, and I know he's doing a cameo and going back there. But you know, from AAA to GCW, TNA, kind of across the map. I've had this discussion actually about 2 hours ago. You know, the different facets of, we'll call it creative, and then you can call it booking. But at the end of the day, there's branding, and then there's promoting. It really, hats off to John. He's got his lane, and it continues to broaden and broaden and broaden. So involved in the main event at, it appears, TNA's biggest show in quite some time, and the crowning of a new champion, and he's a factor in that. It's pretty obvious. Things are looking, continuing to look up for John. But Joe Hendry, you said, Conrad, he blew up in 2024. Wouldn't you say he began a buzz several years? And I'm saying, I don't say just coming out of the pandemic, but it feels like there's been quite the bit of momentum. And you know, when you look at him being a champion, his charisma is at the top of the skill set. And look, you can say match quality or promo quality or whatever it may be. But when you see a champion and the thing that gets him to the top is charisma, generally speaking, revenue follows.
Bruce, Cody, and I were on tour in Europe in 2018. It was December of 2018. And Bruce and I were doing a series of live something to wrestles. Cody was supposed to wrestle. He wound up being injured, so he just made appearances. Brandy wrestled. But on those cards was a lot of talent.
Yep.
Jimmy Havoc, Piper Niven. But Joe Hendry, my goodness, the pops that he got every night in 2018.
There you go.
He was a big star there then. But I mean, as far as just being like, the dude had a song on the charts last year.
That's
like, this is like that leveling up. I mean, I don't think anyone would have argued if TNA would have made him the champ last year. Like, man, this guy, he's going to be a big star. It's apparent that the world has it's clicked. His act has clicked with them.
Yeah.
And I think at this point, it's just a function of more and more people being exposed to him. There's lots of whispers and rumor and innuendo that he may be at the Royal Rumble. I mean, when he came out at NXT, he just got an unbelievable pop last year. So I'm excited to see what's next for him. It does feel like he's the next big thing right now.
Is the rumor innuendo that he has a start date with WWE?
Well, he's the TNA champ, Jeff.
I'm well aware. I didn't ask that question, or I'm not factoring that in.
I just told you February 1st. I don't know how much more clear I could make it, bud. He's in the Royal Rumble. They're going to hit the fucking music. Place is going to go bananas. He's going to come out wearing the TNA belt. But, you know, listen, they've got a brand new partnership. And if you ask Eric Bischoff, he thinks maybe Nick Khan will go negotiate him a new TV deal. I laughed and laughed and laughed. That'll never happen. But
Eric's a funny guy.
I mean, listen, I understand that this is a huge opportunity for TNA. I mean, I get it. You know, it wasn't that long ago people were acting like they were on life support. So to have any sort of association with a brand that's printing money like WWE is a good thing. I do get that.
Yes.
But I mean, let's not get crazy here. Nick Khan's going to go negotiate WWE deals, not TNA deals.
Well said.